everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I know that it's been over a month since I've last uploaded, but I am back and I'm better than ever, so yes. So for this video, as you can tell from the title, it's about 20 truths that we all need to hear. I actually didn't plan on doing this video. It wasn't until I was reflecting on a bunch of harsh truths that I learned this year that I was like, I actually have learned a lot this year. Maybe I should share some of the things that I've learned with you guys because, that's just what I do. I give advice, I try to inspire, I do the best that I can. So, you can take it or you can leave it. It's okay. But I'm guessing if you're here, you're going to take it. So cool. All right. So, with that being said, these are some harsh truths. They're not all harsh, but they are truths that I've learned the hard way for sure, and so I wanted to share them with you guys. So sit back, relax, and if you feel some type of way, it might be because you need to hear this. So just have an open mind and let's dive into the video. So number one, just because someone is an amazing friend and their friends speak very highly of them, it doesn't mean they're relationship material. So this is pretty self-explanatory. Someone can be an amazing ride or die friend, but they're just not mature enough for a relationship and they're just not ready to commit, and it is what it is. So just because, don't think that if someone's a good friend, they're going to be a good girlfriend or boyfriend to you, because that thought right there could be misleading. So number two, just because someone wants you doesn't mean that they value or respect you. So therefore, it doesn't mean that they deserve you. And this is also quite self-explanatory, anybody can want you, but not everybody deserves you. So make sure that you're being really vigilant on who is actually worthy of you, your time, your energy, your love. Like, don't just give it away because you're worth more than that. So number three, healing is not linear. So stop beating yourself up if you've had a string of good days followed by a bad one. I cannot emphasize this enough because I feel like so many times I've felt like I'm healed, I'm good, like great, and then I will suddenly have a really rough day and I'll be like, damn, I really thought I was healing, like what happened? But the truth about healing is like, you're gonna make a lot of progress, but there'll be days where you backslide, or where you're sad, or where you have a tough day, and that's okay. But just keep going. You will get through that hard day, you will get through that tough moment, but just keep going is the main thing. And give yourself credit. You have come a long way. Even if you have one day, it doesn't destroy all the progress you've made thus far. So keep that in mind. So number four, you're not hard to love. You're probably just asking the wrong person. I will say it one more time, in case you want to ignore what I said the first time. You're not hard to love. You are probably just asking the wrong person. It is what it is. Number five, if you feel like being around or with your partner takes you out of character, then you should not be with that person. So for example, like if you're usually a really calm, like chill person, but you find yourself super stressed out and angry whenever you're with them, then it may be time to consider why you're holding on to something that doesn't bring out the absolute best in you. Because a partner should never take you out of your character. You should feel like you're just so elevated being with them. But if you feel like you're not yourself, then that's probably not the person for you. And once again, it is what it is. It sucks because a lot of times we want who we want, but if they're not bringing out the best in you, then it might be time to cut it. I don't know. So number six, no relationship is going to be perfect. Your partner is going to have flaws. There's going to be bumps along the way, and they won't always be happy. There will be downs and hard times that you guys will face together as a couple. With that being said, if you can't handle what it takes to keep a relationship afloat or support your partner through tough times, then honestly, you're better off being single. If you expect your partner to be happy all the time, the relationship to always be flowers and rainbows and things to be perfect like 24/7, then you are very delusional of what a real relationship is, and I think you should go back to the drawing board and just focus on you. But yeah, I'm not gonna go too much into detail about that one because I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory, but there you go. So number seven, Heal on your own time. Stop letting people tell you when you should be over something. If it still hurts you, then it still hurts you. So feel your feelings and know that eventually you'll be at a better headspace. So I say this because I feel like a lot of times people try to rush our happiness or tell us like it's been X amount of time, like you should be over that by now. But I mean, honestly, who's to say when you're gonna get over something or heal from something, you know? So take your time, be patient and understanding with yourself, but also advocate, you know, for yourself and let people know like, hey, like I'm healing and I don't know how long it'll take, but I'll get there when I get there. And that's just it. So yeah. So number 8, stop being afraid to rock the boat in relationships by continuing to allow things that you don't like to take place. Being seen as easygoing and chill is not worth your discomfort or unhappiness. You should be with someone who allows you to openly express your feelings and thoughts. And once again, self-explanatory, you know? If you're scared to rock the boat because you're worried about like what your partner will say, then I don't know. I mean, that's an important conversation to have, but you also have to reevaluate. Like, if you can't openly express yourself to your partner, then probably not the relationship you should be in, because you should be able to communicate without, like, with ease to your partner. So, yeah. So, number 9. If your partner is constantly finding fault in everything you do, and no matter what you do to improve or better yourself as a person, you're always wrong in their eyes, and they consistently find something to nitpick at, then you are with the wrong person. Because they can either step up and be the person that you deserve or step down, because honestly, this behavior is not cool. Like, nobody wants to feel like they can't do anything right. Nobody wants to feel like a terrible person, you know? And if your partner's consistently finding faults with you, there's also a good chance that they just want out of the relationship, but they're just trying to push you to your limits. So honestly, that's the conversation you'll have to have. And, you know, it's a difficult one, but, you know, you deserve better than to like feel terrible about yourself in a relationship. You should never feel like a terrible partner. Like, no matter what you do, you're always wrong in their eyes. Then I really don't think it's a good relationship to be in, frankly. So number 10. You don't owe anyone a chance just because they're a nice person, and don't let anyone guilt you about your decision either. Self-explanatory again. So number 11. Just because they're the best you ever had doesn't mean they're the best you'll ever have. Listen to that again. Just because they're the best you ever had doesn't mean they're the best you will ever have. Now this is important because I feel like I'm not saying bail, you know, any and every time on relationships or with partners and stuff, but what I'm saying is like I feel like a lot of times we get comfortable and we think that since this person is the best we've ever had, that we can't get any better than that, you know? And we get comfortable, and the reality is they might be the best we ever had, but they still may not be good enough for us. So stop settling. Recognize that yes, they might be the best I ever had, but I still do deserve more, and I'm not going to settle for any less. So number 12. You cannot make anyone love you or care about you if they don't. If they don't have feelings for you, nothing you do, no matter how sweet or how nice, is going to change that. Just take the rejection and go, because, you know, you will find someone who wants to be with you. You should never have to convince someone that you're worth sticking around for. So, yeah. So 13 is don't waste time trying to convince anyone of your worth and value, because if they don't see it now, they never will. You know, and this is all in alignment with self-love, you know. We should be with people who always see the best in us and always want the best for us, you know. And if someone doesn't see our worth and our value, then it's not our job to convince them of that. We just need to find better people who will. And that's just what it is. And even, I would say even a step further is not even finding other people, but more of like loving, seeing the value and the worth in yourself and giving that to yourself, and, you know, loving yourself enough to walk away from anyone who doesn't truly see your value or worth. You have to do it because you gotta love yourself. So number 14. Sometimes you grow apart from people that you've had history with, and that's totally okay. And quite frankly, it's very normal. So don't force yourself into maintaining something just because you have history with a person. You know, if the connection is not there, if the vibes are not good, if it's just not bringing you happiness, not serving you, then, you know, it's time to let go, even if you have history together. So, number 15. Sometimes it's really important and necessary to take a break and give yourself space from the people you love if you feel the relationship is getting too draining. And this is really super beneficial to maintain the healthiness of the relationship. So space is good, you know, breaks are good, distance is good sometimes. And I do want to put a caveat and say it does depend how important the relationship is and also how severe you deem the behavior of the other person. So you need to take all that into account before you make a decision, because sometimes the behavior is too severe, or maybe the relationship is not important enough that you can constitute just cutting the tie altogether. So, you know, that's on you to make that assertion. Number 16. So if you're not happy and fulfilled while single, a relationship is not going to change that. And this is really important because a lot of times people get in relationships hoping that it's going to make them happy. It's going to, you know, make them feel so fulfilled, finally make them love life. But if you don't love it on your own, and if you can't love yourself, there's no way you're going to love someone else. And there's no way a relationship is going to suddenly bring you happiness. So, you know, self-love first, relationship later. So number 17, just because you're a loyal and loving person doesn't mean you need to stay anywhere where you're not appreciated and loved. And this is really important because it also ties into self-love, because you should love yourself enough to be like, hey, this person doesn't love me, like I'm gonna walk away, like I deserve better than that. And you know, you need to consistently have that thought in your head that like I'm worth so much, you know, I deserve so much. You need to tell yourself that. You know, so don't get comfortable enough staying with someone who doesn't truly love you, just all for the sake of you're a ride or die person. Don't be loyal to the wrong people. I'm just saying. Okay, so number 18, just because you've dealt with trauma does not give you an excuse to treat people poorly. And I think this is really important because I heard someone say that it's not your fault that the trauma happened to you, but it is your responsibility to fix it. I think it was a girl I saw on TikTok and she had said that, and I agreed with her. And that is very true. You know, you need to fix yourself and heal yourself. And you by no means can go around hurting other people. You know, your trauma is no pass to like hurt other people. No, like you need to get right with yourself. So number 19, if you don't love and respect yourself, you will continually choose people who don't love and respect you either. And that's why I said, like, self-love comes first. You need to get right with yourself. You need to wholeheartedly love yourself before you can get in a relationship. So again, self-love first, relationship later. Get right with yourself first, because if you do not, you will find yourself in a lot of really bad situations with people who really couldn't care less about you. So we are down to number 20. We've made it down to the list. So number 20. It's completely normal to miss someone that hurt you. At the end of the day, you still have feelings for this person and emotions and memories tied to them. So naturally, it'll take a while to unhinge from all that. But eventually, you will get to a point where you don't miss them anymore. So I think once again, it's just giving yourself patience and understanding and knowing that, you know, you will get through this. And it's okay. It's okay. We're human. We're sometimes maybe does a person deserve, you know, I guess our feelings or emotions, they probably don't, but you can't help it if you feel the way that you feel. So, you know, feel your feelings and it'll be okay in the end. Okay, so yeah, that was all my truths that some of y'all need to hear. Well, actually, that we all need to hear, because that's the title of the video, 20 truths we all need to hear, because I feel like at some point in our life, at least a few things on this list will be something that we need to remind ourselves. So yeah, I really hope that this helped everyone watching. I hope if you weren't able to relate to all of it, at least you had some takeaways. And again, you know, we're all growing, we're all learning, and yeah, so I encourage you guys, you know, it's been a crazy year. It's been a crazy 2020, but I guess look back on some of the things you've learned, and reflect, and write them down the same way I did, and it'll probably help you, because moving forward you'll be like, okay, so I'm taking these lessons learned to 2021 and I will not repeat my mistakes. So there you go. So thank you guys so much for always tuning in, always watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, and yeah, thank you, and I appreciate all the love and support as always, and I hope everyone has an amazing December, and we're almost at 2021. We will make this a better year. So yeah, I love you guys. Bye.